In one bizarre sequence, Leto is actually wearing a Nike hoodie. Because of course he is. Even in Eternia, Daddy Knight needs his corporate logo on the screen.
Holy smokes, it's morning! It's Christmas morning, man!
Toys are everything. Toys were everything. Moments, memories. Let me take you back. I was about 7 years old and my family had just moved to a new house. On our new street there was this one kid who completely shattered my worldview. He was an only child and he got everything. And that Christmas, Santa brought him everything. Everything, like Richie Rich style, everything. The kid woke up and in his stocking he had a NES, a WrestleMania game, Rad Gravity, Mega Man, all sitting there, strictly from the big guy, before his parents even handed over their actual gifts. But the math just wasn't mathing. That was the exact moment I realised two things. Santa wasn't real, and life isn't fair.
Getting old sucks.
So speaking of toys, let's talk about He-Man. The original Masters of the Universe was unashamedly a 22-minute marketing sizzle reel. It existed purely to sell a range of plastic to kids. But you know what? You gotta respect the hustle because there was a kind of art to it. Think about the packaging, think about the vibrant painted box art, the sheer heft and quality of those figures. I wasn't the Masters of the Universe fan, I was massively into Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles. Yes, hero in the UK because ninja was deemed too strong a word for kids. But it's the exact same story. High quality figures, we knew exactly what you were getting. They looked incredible on a bedroom shelf, or packaged up in a cabinet ready to be sold on eBay in 20 years time. Look at the contrast with what we have now. My daughter's obsessed with Slop hidden behind a question mark. You pay a premium price for the surprise, but the quality is entirely lacking.
It's arrested development.
Or people go full tilt, jump on a trend like Labubu's, pay extortionate amounts for an expensive surprise just to be part of a moment that wafts away quicker than a camel's fart in the desert. We traded tangible, high quality craftsmanship for a manufactured gambling mechanic. So that brings us to Masters of the Universe, and first of all, the director of the movie, Travis Knight. Travis is the Hollywood equivalent of that kid on my street. He's the boy who had all the toys as a Nepo baby, and he carried that right on the way into adulthood. He's the guy who goes, "Daddy, I want an animation studio," and because his dad is Phil Knight, the co-founder of Nike, he got one, using Daddy's pocket change to fund his vanity projects. And now that kid gets all the toys to play with. He's been handed the entire Masters of the Universe world to put into his Sandbox. The massive IP, the Hollywood budget, the A-list cast. Now look, we can bitch and moan and whine about what other people have got. We can stay bitter about who got the NES with the WrestleMania game, while someone else had to settle for a Satsuma. Or we can crack on with our own miserable existences and look at the reality in front of us. The only question that really matters right now for this video is not how Travis got here, it's what has he delivered. He got all the toys, but did he deliver the goods? And he needs to remember toys are meant to be played with, and robbing them of their purpose denies joy somewhere in the world. Toys are made for children's fun, very frail and quickly done. And who keeps them long to view, bright of paint and good as new, robs himself and other boys of their swiftly passing joys. So he looked upon a toy when our soldier was a boy, and somehow today we're glad that the tokens of our lad and the trinkets that we keep are a broken, battered heap. Masters of the Universe has been kept on the shelf too long. Now let's see what Travis has unboxed. Well, he played it safe. He delivered exactly middle of the road summer blockbuster content, nothing more, nothing less. It's a decent time, desperately chasing those Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, specifically the first one, but never really reaches the heights of that film. One of those reasons is the music. The film does try, particularly in the first half, that quirky needle drop trend, but the songs, they just bounce instead of sticking. He-Man is sad in his bedroom, or let's put a piano version of Boys Don't Cry on. Yeah, seriously, they went there. But the most ham-fisted moment has to be the 4 Non-Blondes track, What's Up? You know, that one that's been going around virally recently. They literally have He-Man look at a rampaging beastie on Earth and ask to himself what's going on, and then cue that music. It's a desperate attempt by Amazon to catch a viral moment 6 months too late. It's even funny because my theatre played the Street Fighter trailer 20 minutes prior, and that uses the exact same bloody song. One kind of issue with the film is the humorous tone and the self-aware, meta, self-deprecating jokes. It wears you down after a while. I don't think they could have made this project work with an entirely serious tone, but it drags when everything is treated as a punchline. If everything is funny, meta or self-deprecating, you get kind of numb to it, and this film doesn't balance those scales well. Parts of the humour work though. There's a running bit throughout it where the names of the different characters and the weird quirky names are actually explained away by the young He-Man giving them those names as a kid and then later revealing them as he meets them. It gives you the "why am I called Fisto? Because you fist people" joke. Side note, that's the second massive Amazon big release with references to fisting in it. But typical of modern studio blockbusters, they don't know when to quit. They double down, they triple down on that bit until the novelty wears off. To put it bluntly, you get numb from the fisting. An early passing of the sword nostalgia cameo works beautifully and hits the exact right level of reverence and fun. But as the runtime ticks on, the jokes fall flat, the references fall flat. For the actual toys in the sandbox as well, the focus gets heavily muddled. Guardians of the Galaxy worked because it was a tight central group of characters. This movie has its central few, but then it's got all the good toys and then some of the bad toys, and there's just too many figures on the floor at one point. Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man is actually good. He looks the part, he carries the film, and the script has this hilarious angle where he's actually a HR manager and he's bringing that corporate conflict resolution skills to Eternia. It works. On the flip side though, poor Camila Mendes must have had about 300 close-up reaction shots of her face. He-Man gets hit, cue to her wincing, someone cracks a joke, cut to her face. She's used as an audience safety net, constantly holding your hand and telling you exactly what you're supposed to think or feel. But, whisper this one quietly, Jared Leto is pretty solid as Skeletor. He's giving off a major Monkey Island Murray the Talking Skull vibe, and it just works. But we do have to talk about the absolute state of the product placement in this film. In one bizarre sequence, Leto is actually wearing a Nike hoodie. Because of course he is. Even in Eternia, Daddy Knight needs his corporate logo on the screen. And just to ensure that corporate synergy is flowing at maximum capacity, do not worry, there is an Amazon Prime van in this movie. Amazon MGM foots the bill, so the Prime delivery truck needs its cameo. The toys aren't selling themselves anymore, they're selling you next day delivery. It's shameless. The undisputed crown of the film though belongs to Sir Idris Elba. He is by far the best thing in this movie. He brings unearned levels of gravitas to this role, and outside of He-Man, he's the only one who's gifted a genuinely compelling character arc. Okay, the dust settled. You're going to get some decent music drops in the second half of the film playing on your old friend Nostalgia. There's a staggering 3 post-credit scenes here because while there are already too many figures on the floor, some are still in the storage cupboard. Don't worry, they're going to peek out during the credits just to let you know Amazon is ready to add to this endless content rollout. You don't buy a massive IP to just do a one and done. So, did Travis Knight, our favourite Nepo baby, earn our approval? Did he break out of the corporate cage? Not quite. The Nike hoodie on Skeletor, the Amazon Prime truck, they tell you everything you need to know. He's tried to play with his toys, but the corporate machinery of wealth accumulation won out in the end. He built a safe, heavily marketed, algorithm-friendly blockbuster, The toy didn't stay on the shelf, but didn't get battered and broken in the garden either. Just got taken out of the packaging, played with for a day inside, and put safely behind glass and stamped with a corporate logo. Life's not fair still, Hollywood's still a playground for the rich, but if this cinematic sandbox didn't satisfy your inner child, don't worry. Corporate synergy dictates that actual original vintage figures are hitting the shelves again in 2 weeks' time.
To infinity and beyond!
Would you like to know more?
Movies, popcorn.